Well, this is going to be an interesting one. In this video, I'm going to review how my life has changed after using ChatGPT daily for more than 6 months. I will share what kind of effect this had on my work and personal life. We will discuss the good and the bad, as well as the future of how we're going to continue to use and adopt such tools in our lives. I'm Pushkin Man, a senior software developer with over 5 years of experience. Subscribe to my channel to learn even more about the world of programming. So first, let's talk about what kind of effect ChatGPT had on my work life. It's not a secret that ChatGPT is loved by a lot of people, but programmers, they're perhaps the ones who appreciate it the most. I did just that and started to use ChatGPT Plus version that I already had for my work tasks. However, while I was using it, I had to be very careful not to disclose any confidential information. And obviously, I never pasted any of the production code into the chat. And this did cause me to spend a little more time finding the exact answer that I was looking for, but it was more important for me to be aligned with the privacy policy of the company where I work. However, when looking at the bigger picture, I started to notice how much ChatGPT actually started to help me. My development became more efficient and learning just accelerated. And soon it was about to become even better. Since the company where I work at is a pretty big one, soon they released a corporate version of ChatGPT that is allowed to be used by any employee. This really felt like another big upgrade because, as you guessed it, now I can paste all that confidential information into the chat, and development became even more pleasant. As a senior developer, now I didn't have to waste any time on implementing basic and generic things. Instead, now I can dedicate more time to focus on the bigger picture of the whole project. If I needed to write some kind of method, find a bug, or maybe refactor code, all I had to do is ask ChatGPT to help me with it. And this is not even close to the full list of all the use cases. It is also important to consider the fact that even though I'm using ChatGPT for a lot of different tasks throughout my workday, I'm very careful when it comes to taking suggestions from it. Thanks to the fact that I have enough experience in programming, I can feel the times when ChatGPT provides answers that are wrong or not accurate. I'm saying all of this to junior developers and newcomers to programming that you should not trust ChatGPT all the time. Be careful with it. Learning also became a piece of cake. When asking the right questions, ChatGPT becomes an amazing mentor on various topics. Actually, practically on any topic that you want. And the best part about it is that you can ask clarification questions on the exact part that you don't understand, or ask it to explain it to you in a different way. Overall, with introduction of ChatGPT into my work life, I can say that my efficiency doubled and the development process speed increased. And I really feel that I'm doing more and learning more with this new working style. In my opinion, if you or the company where you work at are not using ChatGPT, you are missing out on a lot of perks that come with it. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like because it really does help me to grow this channel and create more content like this. And now let's move to the second part, and that would be my personal life. And here the same thing holds true. ChatGPT is a game changer. You just need to discover good use cases where you can take advantage of it. And trust me, there are way more of them here in your personal life than at work, so you will need to experiment quite a lot. For example, I use it, you guessed it, for YouTube. And there were quite a lot of iterations to find the best workflow. At first, I used to write myself a general structure of the video and then asked ChatGPT to write a 1000-word script. However, I quickly realized that this made my videos soulless without a character and overall not that good. So now I write a complete script myself, but still use ChatGPT for brainstorming and making sure that I do not forget to mention all the important points for the video. Using ChatGPT is like having a creative partner who's always ready to help and offer suggestions. I also use it for a lot of other smaller tasks like suggesting an emoji for a certain topic, or for example, counting the number of words and characters in my script. However, mainly I would say that 80% of my time with ChatGPT I use for learning, which is an incredible experience. Whether I want to learn about the specifics of a new programming language that I'm learning, or I want to write some practical examples, ChatGPT is always here to get the job done. There are endless ways that you can utilize ChatGPT in your everyday life. The limiting factor is your creativity. Use it for cooking to get the exact recipe for your particular setup. Create a workout program and make it fit into your schedule. Ask for financial advices about how you can save money in your particular situation. situation. These are just a couple of examples, but like I've said, possibilities are endless. Back then, when I just started to use ChatGPT, I came across a pretty good book called The Art of ChatGPT Prompting. I discovered quite a few useful things in it, and I would say that I started to use ChatGPT more effectively. If you're interested, be sure to check out the link in the description. The book is free, I believe. Well, the last time I've downloaded it was free. Either way, check it out. Alright, and now let's talk about the good and the bad, and we'll start with the good. Really, the best thing about ChatGPT is the fact that it is context aware. This allows you to find an answer for your particular situation. Also, it is very good at very simple and repetitive tasks, for example, like summarizing articles or analyzing documents. And of course, if I haven't said this enough, it is the learning possibilities that come with ChatGPT. Because you're able to narrow down the focus to the exact part that you don't understand, this saves you countless hours of research on the internet. And of course, where there is good, there is also bad, so let's talk about it. Just like any other technology, ChatGPT also has its drawbacks. One of the major ones is the fact that it can provide you with inaccurate information or perhaps even make it up on the spot. That's why it's important for you to know the time when you should double check your answer. And this understanding comes over time, so make sure you practice. Also, you can argue that ChatGPT reduces critical thinking skills. This is because we continue to rely on more and more tools like this to make our lives more and more easier. But personally, I believe that at this time we shouldn't worry about it. If you're using it right and not abusing it, then it will have a positive effect on your life. A simple analogy is with our smartphones, which are an amazing tools that allow us to solve many various kinds of problems. However, if the only thing that you're doing is watching TikTok every day, then this will have a destructive effect on your life. And the same thing applies to ChatGPT. And lastly, I want to quickly talk about the future of ChatGPT. It is the next step in evolution of how we consume knowledge and search for information. In 1990, search engines were invented to help us navigate the web and search for information quickly. Now with ChatGPT, we practically have a virtual assistant available at our hands 24/7. ChatGPT is not exactly something that you just cannot live without. After all, we were doing just that less than a year ago when no one knew that such powerful tool was even coming. However, the amount of time that it saves and how quickly you can find the answer that you're looking for is mind-blowing. ChatGPT is at very early stages of its development and not even close to the full potential that it can reach. So right now, using it for certain type of tasks and cases might not be a wise choice. So for example, if you want to use it to prepare for court cases, this is not a good idea because we saw a lot of real-life examples of how these things ended badly. ChatGPT is not ideal, definitely not, at least because sometimes it provides inaccurate information. So obviously you need to also factor that in when you will be calculating the amount of time that you saved. So at first, your experience with ChatGPT might be kind of slow and ineffective, but just like with any other skill, with time and practice, you get better at it. And I really do believe that it's worth to learn ChatGPT properly so that you can use it effectively. And that is my story of using ChatGPT daily for the last 6 months. Overall, it did change my life quite a lot, but did so in a good way. Therefore, I will continue using it. And I would advise anyone to do so. But if you have doubts, give it a try, and believe me, you will love this tool. If you have any questions or you want to share your thoughts and stories about ChatGPT, be sure to leave them in the comments. Have a good day and see you.